advantages and disadvantages, but just looking at that ball on the centre spot, it already wants to move with the conditions the way that they are, and the immediate ball pumped downfield. This is something we're seeing more and more of, and I would love to get Ben Thornley's take on putting the ball straight out of play from the kickoff.
Well, I don't think that's ever going to catch on, by the way, not over the goal line, but I don't know where it's come from. It's a rugby union thing, isn't it, to gain territory and box your teams in. It's the only thing I can think of, and I'm not a fan, I have to say.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know where it's come from, but it can go back. But you reserved yourself. We are underway here, and Manchester United looking to keep that 100% record at the top of PL2. Out it goes to the right-hand side, where Tyler Fletcher looks to send it down the right wing to James Scanlon. Ball's out of play, quickly taken and into Patterson, who lifts it forward, and you can already see the wind taking effect in the middle of the park here. It's played against Jace Fitzgerald, all the way back to George Pickford. Fletcher looking for Musa, looked like he was being climbed all over, but referee allows play to continue, and then Jack Fletcher puts in the challenge. Ball is knocked out of play.
Yeah, I think that, there's possibly a case for a foul on Victor Musa.
Scanlon. Musa fighting for it. He's going to win his side of corner. So, to Musa, early in this game, trying to cause problems down the Manchester United left. Now, what do you do from a corner situation with the wind the way that it is at Walton Hall Park? Sheltered in that corner by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Whipped in, headed away. It's a really good ball in. Still a chance here. Back into the box by Fletcher. Cleared away. McAllister is going to go back to Will Murdoch, the goalkeeper. Excellent ball.
I think it was Tyler Fredrickson that got in the way of that, trying to, sort of divert it into towards the goal.
Out to the right-hand side. This is Tyler Fredrickson. Spent the majority of this season with the first team. And this weekend is playing with the under-21s on a Friday night. Wind whips across the effects microphones. Musa. Crossfield ball. Oh, that's brilliantly found. Scanlon in the area, gets his shot away, hits the crossbar. The offside flag has gone up against James Scanlon, and Ben and I both sporting looks of surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a wonderful ball. We're talking about, how you control your passes in this wind. United obviously have the wind up their backs, so those types of passes from Jack Fletcher are made all the more difficult, but it looked like he'd executed that perfectly, I have to say.
Jacob Devaney. He's played in numerous positions, Jacob Devaney, over the course of this season. Recently playing international football for Ireland as well. Age group international football. Fredrickson. Scanlon looks for that early ball forward. He's looking for Biancheri. Here is the decision about the offside. Well, that is remarkably tight.
You have to give the benefit of the doubt to the assistant that is directly in line with James Scanlon and closest to him, so he's obviously called it correctly. It was a great ball, though. Really good ball.
And this is why having a passer of the ball like Jack Fletcher playing at left back.
It's a really good ball.
And if you can, from that angle, it doesn't look offside,
no,
does it?
But
we're
not in line, are we? So And also, if you can angle the balls as well, then there's less likelihood of it carrying through to the goalkeeper and keeping the ball alive.
Beaumont Clark with a burst of speed to get him away from danger. This is Gomez. Comes out to Finney. Musa playing close attention. Fletcher. To his twin brother. Back now to Finn McAllister. Fredrickson. To Dan Armour, who has impressed over the course of this season.
He certainly has.
Calm presence, isn't he? He's also got himself on the score sheet this campaign. Not bad for a centre-half, 5 games in. Here he is, Daniel Armour. Again, we see this, don't we, week in, week out. Every one of these Manchester United Academy players is so comfortable on the ball. And then gave that the kiss of death,
Yeah.
didn't I?
That very often happens, though, doesn't it?
What, me giving things
No,
the kiss
not
of death?
you,
No,
not
you're
you.
absolutely right.
Just in general.
Back it goes from Fletcher to Fredrickson. This is one of 7 games in PL2 this evening. West Brom and Leeds played out a 2-2 draw a little bit earlier on. Crikey. Storm Amy.
Yeah, they are testing conditions.
And here's where it causes a problem. You play the ball out to the right-hand side and all of a sudden it bends back towards you and you get pinned in, and Musa applying pressure to Finney. Nudge in the back there from Amari Benjamin, but covered off well by Tyler Fredrickson after Dan Armour was given a nudge. The other thing to bear in mind is that these youngsters are so used to playing in wide open spaces where the wind can be an issue. You only need to look at Carrington to understand how breezy it can be. And it is the same for both teams, as Victor Musa is bundled over.
Yeah, I mean, Carrington tends to be, you know, quite windy at the best of times. But when you have got a storm making its way over, it does make it much more difficult.
As it comes to Armour from Fredrickson. Well, these are testing conditions, but they're not that enjoyable, are they, with the wind howling and the rain whipping at your face?
No. And through no fault of their own, these players, it is going to affect the quality, and understandably so. There are certain things in these sorts of conditions that you just can't do.
United are doing as we thought they might, and that is playing with the ball on the ground, and maybe have set themselves up down the right-hand side here. This is Scanlon. They move the ball really well through midfield, Manchester United. 1- and 2-touch football, stretching and pulling teams out of position. This is where pressure might tell in these conditions too. And that is a
You might get booked for that, you know.
A little bit of a swipe out from Fletcher. Referee has not reached for the pocket. Realises that he's in a spot of bother and just catches the back of Amari Benjamin.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit lucky to escape there. I know it's only early in the proceedings, but he was away, Benjamin, and there was no obvious attempt to play the ball from Jack Fletcher.
So, an opportunity for Jack Patterson here. Goes short. Going to try and play it into the penalty area. Shot does come in the end, and it's a tame one from Joel Catesby. Will Murdoch gets down well and gets his first touch of the game with his hands. Good body position from Murdoch to make sure that that doesn't spill through. Devaney to Fletcher, and now Victor Musa.
I mean, nothing you can do about the conditions overhead, but the pitch looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Certainly does. This is Jack Fletcher back to Musa. Musa again. Everton back in a good shape here, and United just going to play back and try and move them out of position. Fredrickson trying to commit a defender or two, try and create some space. Fletcher, Fredrickson. Into the middle it comes, has fallen nicely for Jack Fletcher. Oh, what a finish! Absolutely rifled into the top corner, and Manchester United take the lead just after the 10-minute mark. Brilliant stuff from Jack Fletcher, 1-0.
Yeah, really, really great strike from Jack Fletcher. And again, we're talking about people being out of position, but how comfortable they are when they get the opportunity to step into familiar territory. And that's exactly where Jack Fletcher was. I mean, he's started off this game at left back, and he's finished that as a number 10 from just outside the area. And it really is first touch to set him, and he thrashes it past Pickford in the Everton goal. And exactly what you were talking about, Liam, the opportunity when you do have the wind behind you to really take on a strike, because it's so difficult for the goalkeeper, and when you hit it as well as Jack Fletcher did, it gives them no chance even if they get their hand to it. Good start.
Laser beam, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a terrific strike.
Just a little bit of credit too to Gabe Biancheri, who sets that for Fletcher, puts a great touch on it to send it to the edge of the box. It's good awareness, knowing where your teammates are, and the finish is excellent too. Jace Fitzgerald has tried a little hard to win that back against Francis Gomez. This is where Manchester United would like Everton to be playing, with the ball in front of their own penalty area. They have got themselves out. Musa is back and defending against George Finney. Pressure coming from Tyler Fletcher. Look at the effort. Devaney does well to avoid the attentions of the referee, though I think the advantage was played by Gareth Thomas. Cross is decent from Catesby, but thumped clear by Manchester United. Been a bright start, Ben.
Yeah, they kept the ball well. They didn't, try and rush things along. And when the opportunity came, they got their noses in front.
Good finish to make that happen as well, as Everton fighting for the ball in midfield. The foul eventually comes. I think an accumulation of smaller offences in there eventually lead the referee to blow the whistle. Taken quickly down the left-hand side. Referee wasn't ready for that to be taken, I don't think, so Everton will get the opportunity to take it again. Again, will it be the short one, or are they going to try and put this into the penalty area with the wind the way that it is? Decide to go the penalty area route. Yeah, keeping track of that high in the sky, tricky, and you've got to say Will Murdoch moves his feet brilliantly well to try and get underneath it.
I'm not sure that had the trajectory that he would have wanted. I mean, obviously ball being played towards the back end of the area for people to come and attack it, but it hung and blew in the wind that much that it never even made it past the near post. And Will Murdoch came out and collected it, just to give you an idea of what these lads are up against.
Very, very blustery conditions at Walton Hall Park. Quarter of an hour played, and Jack Fletcher's 12th minute goal, the difference between these two sides. Fredrickson to Armour. Back it goes to Tyler Fredrickson. Down the line, maybe some space opening up here. Really patient build-up. Fitzgerald, who is nominally the number 10 today, currently playing at left back for United. It is a very fluid formation, Ben. You find players in all sorts of odd places, don't you?
You certainly do. But it hasn't affected them in any of the games so far this season. You know, shows tremendous character. There's probably, you know, an air of disappointment sometimes.
It's a lovely ball from Armour to find Fletcher. Fletcher wants to play that just in front of Musa. I think it takes a little deflection on the way through. Maybe an opportunity going the other way for Joel Catesby. Well marshalled though by Tyler Fletcher.
Yeah, it's good defending. As we spoke about Braden Graham before the game, and he is tricky. Coming in off that left-hand side.
Oh. Crunching collision, but Biancheri comes away with the ball. Into the feet of Fitzgerald, and now Jack Fletcher goes early into the middle. It's a clever ball into the box from Jack Fletcher. It's just too far ahead of Victor Musa.
Yeah, he just needed to arc it. It's absolutely the right thing to do, especially in these conditions. You whip it along the floor, and he just didn't get enough of an arc. But he's going to have to be careful, Finney, because Jack Fletcher is not playing as a left back at all. He's getting forward at every opportunity, already scored the goal, and he's causing Everton all sorts of problems. And there's his position now that you can see.
It's a back three for United, essentially, in possession, isn't it? You can see Finlay McAllister has stayed deep alongside Tyler Fredrickson and now Dan Armour, and just in front of them is Fletcher. Fitzgerald. Yeah, he's caught, and the referee has no option but to blow for the free kick.
Yeah, it's really good from United, actually, the way that they work the ball out to Dan Armour, who's obviously widened himself. And Everton closing him down, it then leaves Jack Fletcher free in that position to be able to start building attacks. They're having problems down their right, United's left.
As well as Manchester United's under-21s taking on Everton this evening. In about 10 minutes' time, Manchester United's women will face Chelsea. That one available for you if you find your way on the Manchester United website and app. You'll be able to stay across that one. Dave Stowell and Siobhan Chamberlain bringing you coverage of that one. Fletcher. I think that one was on the training ground at one stage, but didn't quite translate, did it?
No.
Fletcher fighting for it. I mean, they're under so much pressure here, Everton trying to get out. Manchester United just got numbers everywhere, yeah. Inevitably the ball was going to be turned over. It's whether they can do anything with it from this position. Musa stabs at it left-footed. Gets it slightly skew-whiff. Good work, though, to get into that position in the first place.
Yeah, they did. They worked it really well, and in a not a too dissimilar position that Jack Fletcher found himself in when he scored the goal. And Victor Musa allows the ball to come across his body, onto his favoured foot, but he was just leaning back. He just needed to get his head over it and concentrate on hitting the target. And the power, some of which will be generated by this win that United have got up the backs in this first half.
Dan Armour comes across to Tyler Fredrickson. There is some space out here on this left-hand side for Victor Musa. It's just so difficult to play that ball over the top with these conditions the way that they are. Fitzgerald comes back to Armour. First time to Fredrickson. Quickly closed down by Catesby. Devaney was always stretching to reach it. Now an opportunity for Everton, edge of the penalty area. Shifted brilliantly, shot comes in. Oh, it's only just wide, and Braden Graham looked at surefire to touch that in at the back post, and it fizzes past him.
Yeah, I mean, they worked it well, Everton. Obviously it was a mistake. It was just a little bit of a loose pass into midfield to Jacob Devaney, who was on the stretch, and Everton picked it up straight away, and Benjamin picks out Beaumont Clark on this right-hand side, and he just shifts it so that he can create an angle to go back across the goalkeeper, and Braden Graham very unlucky not just to get a simple tap in at the back post.
It's good work, isn't it, from Everton to get to that position,
yeah,
capitalising on the mistake. It's a lovely tackle from Jacob Devaney. Might well have given Manchester United some room to manoeuvre here. It's surely, yeah, the referee has given the throw in to Manchester United. Just a little bit of pushing and pulling. Wonder whether it might end up being a free kick, Ben. You waved your finger at me to say absolutely no chance.
No, not that. It was because it came off Victor Musa. It was an Everton throw.
That one is a free kick. Jack Patterson sent sprawling. Important player for them, Jack Patterson. Keeps the midfield ticking over. Tamman looking to fire this upfield. Graham. A little bit of a pull of the shirt there, wasn't there, from Jacob Devaney. The referee allows play to continue. Oh, that's lovely from Chase Fitzgerald. Cuts across the two retreating defenders as well. Devaney to Fredrickson. McAllister. Scanlon is dispossessed, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, nicely tidied up by United. I think Tamman there, the free kick, it's so difficult to be able to find your spot from such a distance. You need to try and work it, get plenty of players round the ball in positions where you can move up the field with shorter passes. Ooh.
That is a lunging tackle, isn't it, from William Tamman.
Referee obviously didn't see anything wrong with that. I thought it was a little bit on the dangerous side, but he saw nothing wrong with it.
My initial gut feeling was that he was off his feet, but obviously won the ball, and all is fair. Graham comes back down the line to Finney. Going to go all the way out to the left-hand side, and this is Van Shaw chasing it. Wind assisted, accelerates as it bounces off the turf. Lovely from Biancheri, lovely movement to get himself into a great position. Looks to pull it back to the edge of the box, and Fitzgerald smashed goalwards by Devaney. Big deflection. What a block that is, brave as you like, and then the attempt from Jace Fitzgerald is high and wide.
Lovely piece of play from Gabe Biancheri over that far side. Wonderful body movement to allow the ball and bamboozle the defender. And then a couple of strikes culminating in that one just going over the bar from Fitzgerald, but
me tell you, whoever put the block in for
Yeah.
Jacob Devaney has currently got the ball manufacturer embossed somewhere on their body, because it was laced. It's well done from Fletcher. It's going to get it back from Murdoch too. Who says he can't play right back?
Left back.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. He could probably play right back too.
I'm sure he can.
Twice I've made that mistake this evening. Did it when I was trying to put the lineups down on paper as well. Deary me.
It's a solid pass from Will Murdoch as well. You've not got a lot of room to work with there when you're playing it at an angle with not great margin for error.
Really good with the ball at his feet. Oh, Murdoch. Distribution, a real strength. On top of the fact that he's a great shot stopper as well.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do in conditions like these. You need to punch your passes in. And he certainly did that to Jack Fletcher.
Fredrickson just opens his body out to deliver the pass back to Murdoch. Clips one into midfield, and there you go, the wind straight away causing problems. This gives Beaumont Clark an opportunity. No room to get past Fletcher.
Well, that's a kiss of death each.
Yep. No, I think that's two for me, isn't it?
Well, no, because I said about him punching passes in, and then he tries to float one that gets caught in the wind and gives Everton a counter.
Just after I'd said a distribution was his real strength, and then yeah, we've
All right,
both
2-1 for you.
I'm really sorry. All right, if you're watching this back, Will Murdoch, I'm not doing it on purpose. Just trying to be nice. Ball is into the penalty area, deep, headed goalwards, and it's well clung on to by Murdoch because it was a powerful header that was coming back towards him. Claims it well.
There was obviously some sort of infringement in there because he played that off the floor, but it's good positioning from Will Murdoch. Moves across his goal. I don't know what the infringement was. I was watching the chance again, but he puts the ball down, so referee spotted something.
Alan Thomas it was that managed to get the header in. That's why you want your rangy centre-halves at set pieces, isn't it? Funnily enough, exactly how Dan Armour got his goal this season. Ball is again carried by the wind, and it goes behind, and it'll be a Manchester United corner. Just one of those situations that Everton are having to deal with in this first 45 minutes. Manchester United are going to have to deal with the same situation in the second half.
Yeah.
Here is the delivery, swept in, really deep, looking for Dan Armour, and again, where Manchester United have probably edged the first half has been keeping the ball on the floor. As soon as the ball leaves sort of head height, the wind really takes effect, Ben.
Yeah, it's a lottery. It is a lottery. I mean, you can have the most accurate passing stats, but when it's as strong as this, it's very, very difficult when you're playing balls through the air, as Everton have just found there.
And if you're a team that actually plays a brand of football that requires you to hit switch passes or long balls downfield or, you know, balls over the top, conditions like this can cause you more problem than they cause your opposition, if they're a fluid passing side.
Yeah, very true.
Some fluid passing here from Manchester United as the switch comes. I tell you what, it's a 9 times out of 10 on a normal day, that's a great ball for James Scanlon. Not today. I mean, that corner flag's at 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Yep. Throw in doesn't go the way Everton wanted it to. McAllister sends it into Fitzgerald. Armour back to Fredrickson. Fredrickson threads this through to Fletcher. Tyler Fletcher this time, looking to attack the penalty area. Beaumont Clark has it taken off his toe by Jacob Devaney, who gets it back from Jack Fletcher. Musa. Looks to get the cross in, it's blocked, it's behind for a corner, and second prize won by Victor Musa.
Yeah, it's positive.
Manchester United's women underway in a top-of-the-table clash against Chelsea women. Keep you up to date with the score of that one, but if you want more in-depth, it's available for you on the Manchester United website. Dave Starr and Siobhan Chamberlain keeping you company on that one. Fletcher looks to fire a cross in, blocked well by a rapidly advancing Braden Graham. Half an hour played and really has only been one side in it. United will feel that they probably deserve to be more than a goal to the good.
Doesn't need to strike this as cleanly as he normally would.
Couple of fewer clubs.
Yeah, you can almost caress it into the middle.
Which is exactly what he does. It's a really good ball into the box. Has the goalkeeper got a touch? No, says the referee, Karen Thomas. It's not a bad ball at all, is it, from Chase Fitzgerald?
No, anybody coming round the back post there. Making a run from out to in.
Real teaser. Reads the flight of that really well. Head to it. Fletcher pick this up again. Another shot from the edge of the penalty area for Jack Fletcher. Is caught by Tamman. Referee having absolutely none of it. Well, why would a player go down in that position if they hadn't been caught? It looked a foul to us, Ben.
It was. I don't think there's any danger, and I'll take it one step further, that because of the way that he went down, if the referee didn't think it was a free kick, then, and I'm not saying it's right, he would have had to have booked Jack Fletcher for simulation. Yeah. I mean, it was a foul. It was a brilliant change of direction from him, and the trailing leg caught it. I don't think there's any danger of that.
Just a little bit of edge approaching in this game. Just watching George Finney there with fistfuls of Jace Fitzgerald's shorts, trying to gain any kind of advantage. All tidied up by Francis Gomez. Strong challenge from Jacob Devaney. Too strong, says the referee. Again, Finlay McAllister being asked to do some job there. Ball coming out of the sky on a rain-soaked and blustery evening. Does just enough to knock it out of play for the throw-in. Calmly dealt with by a combination of Fletcher and Murdoch. Musa dispossessed. Just too much on the cross that comes back in.
Yeah. I mean, he did really well to win the ball, Finney. And then he inexplicably sort of thrashes across into the box that he's well aware because of the direction of this wind. Yes, it is more up Manchester United's backs, but it's definitely blowing from left to right.
Corner to corner, almost.
Yeah.
Gomez brings this down. Musa's going to chase it. Again, Finn McAllister being asked to do a bit of a job at right back.
I don't think that the Everton defenders are doing their front players any justice with some of the balls that they're giving them. That when you're playing balls up like that, yes, okay, you might gain some yardage in some territory, but there's no football going to be played. It's just a free-for-all. It's just a battle for them up there.
That is a foul. Braden Graham trying a little too hard, and McAllister with just a little bit too much nous to be drawn into it.
Come here.
I mean, what can you do? Only one more gust and it's up the field again.
United will have that to contend with, obviously, in the second half.
Using it to their advantage here, though. It's good distance on the free kick. Well, one back by Fredriksson, helped on by Devaney. Yeah, conditions just making life really tricky for everyone at the minute. Everton, Manchester United, everybody just struggling to get a foothold. Storm Amy is currently the great leveller. One back by Everton, but defended away by Manchester United. Good touch from Paul Tate over on the far side. Maybe a chance for Catesby to get this into the penalty area.
That's a couple of occasions now that Catesby's played a ball into the box and there's not been anybody in there, but part of the reason is that he's just not got his head up. I understand that it can be frustrating for a wide player when you're in the position where you're going to cross it, but if there's nobody in there, you're just gifting the ball back to the opposition. You just maybe need to hold on to it.
Beaumont Clark looking to feed this through to Finney. He gets a good ball in and Dan Armour has to deal with it and does so well.
That's a better ball from Finney. Certainly more of a chance of getting a blue shirt on the end of it than the one he put in previously. That was way too overhit.
Assistant referee is just dodging around a flying corner flag. Asking Beaumont Clark to bring the ball into the quadrant. Does that and then delivers. Goodness me, just accelerated and accelerated through the box. Everton making a decent fist of the latter stages of this first half. Oh dearie me, that is a very strong challenge, straight-legged too. McAllister bounces back to his feet and yeah, I'm pretty sure has that conversation with the referee.
Yeah, it's a naughty one. Was it Patterson, was it?
Yeah.
I think it's a naughty one, that. And fair play to Finn McAllister. He just got up and no remonstrations, no writhing. But it wasn't a nice challenge, that.
Manchester United's women 1-0 down to Chelsea. Vika Kaptein with the early goal in that one. Top of the table clash. The juggernaut that is Chelsea. well-heeled, financially powerful in the WSL, have a little bit more to play with than everybody else. United taking on the role of plucky underdog in that one. Fitzgerald to Musa. Back to Jace Fitzgerald. Did you prefer to play into the wind or with the wind at your back?
No, I actually prefer to play with the wind. What you mean in the first half, if you won the kickoff? Play with the wind, because while it's there, you never know what might happen. Plus, it's much more difficult for the team defending against the wind, which means that they expend more energy. So while it's there, use it a little bit like, you know, where the sun might be lying in terms of, you know, in the goalkeeper's eyes.
To Musa, steps in and wins that. I think the referee was always going to give the free kick for the pull on the arm, and then stepped across him, and the referee was just waiting to see what the outcome was going to be before making a decision. Field by Musa. Fitzgerald to Fletcher. Fredrickson. United in no rush to get the ball forward. They try and pick their opportunities. Here it comes to Fitzgerald. Chased down by Patterson. It's an infield to Devaney. It's another lunging challenge that comes in, isn't it? This time wins the ball. Been a couple of those that have been make you just draw breath as you see them come flying in. Everton, can you get this all the way in? Well, Manchester United have been pegged back. Amari Benjamin finishes it off, wind assisted again, I think, and 1-1 just before the break.
Well, the person that only seconds earlier we both looked at each other as if to say maybe he could have been penalised for that challenge. He eventually gets himself into an area where you'd want your number 9 to be, and from probably the best cross that Everton have put in this half, he moves it back, nobody goes to close him down, and on the overlap he just, I don't know whether he put it in off his chest or whether it was a header. I mean, he's very close in. As you can see there, it's a good header. It's a really good ball. And it was played in with plenty of pace and didn't allow Will Murdoch to get anything on it.
They've got better as the half has gone on.
Yes, they have.
Everton.
Yeah, they have.
Manchester United leading for the best part of 35 minutes.
I mean, it is a while since we've mentioned Pickford had anything to do.
Scanlon challenged by Thomas. Devaney to Musa. Kept in by McAllister. First time of asking, couldn't keep it in the second time of asking.
I think when you're playing balls from left to right across the field, as Victor Musa has been in positions to be able to do, it's very, very difficult to play crosses with height like that. I think you're much better just whizzing him along the floor.
Fitzgerald sends this one across the floor to Fletcher. Everton back in good shape. One minute of time added on. Saw the ball go up on the far side of the field. Yeah, Devaney quickly under pressure as well to turn and extricate himself from the attentions of the two Everton markers. Jack Fletcher. Tyler Fletcher. Chase Fitzgerald. Back it comes to Armour and Fredrickson. Again, Everton sat in this mid-block. United trying to break them down. Maybe one more opportunity if they can get the ball in from Fletcher here. Otherwise, the referee is going to bring the first half to a close. There is the half-time whistle, and Manchester United go down the tunnel at the break, honours even with Everton. Jack Fletcher opening the scoring for Manchester United, set on a plate for him by Biancheri, and he rifled it into the top right-hand corner. 30 minutes of attritional football between Manchester United, Everton, and the weather eventually coming to Amari Benjamin in a brilliant position. Cross is fantastic, and he nods home just before the break, and it means that at half-time from Walton Hall Park, it's Everton 1, Manchester United 1. One at the start of the second half. Ball is all the way back with the goalkeeper Pickford. Referee spots an infringement in there, maybe for a high boot. Gives the free kick.
This is the most bizarre camera angle I've ever seen for a football match.
Yeah, not in control of these pictures, otherwise I'd be inclined to agree. We're watching from behind the Manchester United goal, just to give you an idea of perspective here. Never watched a football game from back to front, rather than from side to side. There we go. Back to a more regulation camera angle. Finn McAllister goes back to Will Murdoch. Dan Armour back to his goalkeeper, and now out to the right where Tyler Fredrickson can take over. No changes for Manchester United at half-time. I'll run you through the team again in just a second. Wait for this potential opportunity to fizzle out, which it does. So Will Murdoch in goal, back four from right to left. McAllister, Fredrickson, Armour and Fletcher of the Jack variety. The Tyler variety of Fletcher is in midfield alongside Jacob Devaney, and then that front four, Musa left, Scanlon right, Fitzgerald in behind Biancheri. It is a nominal formation because Manchester United have been very fluid in terms of their positions over the course of the game. Stretching interception from Dan Armour. Musa can't keep that one in, and in fact it trickles out of play on the far side for an Everton throw. In terms of the Toffees, they've got Pickford in goal, Finney, Tammant, Thomas and Van Shaw across the back, Gomez, Patterson and Braden Graham in the middle, Jacob Beaumont-Clark on the right, Catesby on the left and Amari Benjamin, the goal scorer, through the middle. Tyler Fletcher runs a long way with the ball, manages eventually to get the pass away. Drilled into the feet of Biancheri. Good challenge.
Yeah, he just lost control of it there, didn't he? Because it was quite a promising position that he found himself in, Biancheri.
Well, that is an absolutely monstrous challenge from Patterson. And I'm not sure it's all that clean either. We will have to wait until the replay. The referee just holding play up while he checks on Jacob Devaney. It's a very strong challenge, Ben.
It was a strong challenge, and unlike the one that he put in the first half on Finn McAllister, I thought that was it was solid, but he won the ball. He can't help his momentum as he follows through, but he was in control, he was on the floor, and if that was Jacob Devaney making that tackle, we'd be more than happy. As long as he's all right, then that's great.
He is back on his feet. Victor Musa trying to create something down the United left. Fletcher to Musa. Musa gets the early ball into the box, which is cleared away. Maybe the wind has died down ever so slightly. We haven't got corner flags at right angles like we had in the first half. That would suit Manchester United if there was a lull in proceedings. Chance here maybe, as it's pulled back, it loops up. Yeah, can't be kept in by Pickford, and he is out for a corner. Well done from Gabe Biancheri, forcing the issue inside the penalty area.
Yeah, Victor Musa over that far side. We'll just have to be a little bit more mindful of the fact that he now does, when he gets into wide areas, he does need to get something on his crosses. There's no chance that he's going to overhit one of those. There's your corner flag, Liam.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for pointing out I was wrong again. Fitzgerald swings one in, doesn't quite make it past the near post before it swings out again. Yeah, it was wishful thinking.
No, at the time
praying that the weather was going to be better.
At the time you mentioned it, it was upright, but it is extremely gusty.
Tamman looks for that long ball to Benjamin. Sails out of play. Fletcher.
I'm just wondering whether United could do with maybe pushing up a little bit further, knowing that you've got Will Murdoch behind. Oh,
it's another strong tackle, isn't it? This time from Tyler Fredrickson. It's a good ball out to James Scanlon. There's a little bit of room here. James Scanlon cuts in field. Cross to Fletcher. Drilled in, turned away. It's well done from Alan Thomas to get the ball clear.
Right idea though, drilling balls into the area like Jack Fletcher did then. Sometimes you probably have to try and be a little bit more pinpoint. Oh, got somebody down.
Wonder whether that's from that collision with Tyler Fredrickson. I think it is Patterson as well, isn't it? That's just having a little bit of treatment here. Potentially Everton going for the changes. Yeah, it looks a bit sore.
Yeah. Well, let's have it right. It's not going to be the sort of night when you want to be lying around on the pitch, not doing anything, not moving. So he is in a little bit of a uncomfortable position.
Just taking another look at it. Oh, it's there where we think it's happened. It's just a block challenge, maybe he's just jarred something.
There was no immediate reaction though from him, was there? Which always makes it a little bit more concerning for me.
Yeah, if it's a contact injury, you know it's a contact injury.
Well, hopefully he'll be okay.
Biancheri that went into the challenge. He just, maybe it's a bit of a dead leg from the collision with Biancheri.
It was more than the knee though, wasn't it? And it doesn't look like they're going to take any risks.
No, it's going to be Callum Bates coming on, and I can only assume that that's going to be for Patterson. It is. Well, he's been feisty in midfield. Manchester United, I would imagine, will be quite pleased to see the back of him. Made life very difficult for United's midfielders coming through the middle.
Yeah, he's very much a combative midfielder.
Substitution for Everton, number 6.
Back underway. Armour goes back to Murdoch. Devaney out to Fletcher. Back to McAllister. Clever from Dan Armour. Fredrickson, head up. I think United very aware that they don't want to use those aerial balls. They're going to try and play their way across the surface of the pitch. Armour for a ball into the channel for Biancheri to chase. Sliding challenge comes in from Thomas, and again in front of Victor Musa.
Yeah, it's a decent ball. We've seen a couple there over decent distances. The ball out to Victor Musa, that he controlled with his chest, and then that one from Dan Armour there into Biancheri. They're not easy, but they're not impossible. You just have to have a little bit more concentration when you're playing it.
Fletcher. Beaumont Clark has wriggled free. Here comes the pressure from Fletcher. Scanlon helping out. Throw from Van Shaw. Five from 5 for Manchester United's under-21s. Their 100% record on the line. The last side left with a 100% record in PL2. Ipswich the next closest to them with 4 wins and a draw. Feisty affair that one was. A draw with Southampton. Both sides reduced to 10 during that game. So United top of the table by 2 points at this early stage. Can they find a way through to retake the lead against Everton here? Musa just dallies on the ball ever so slightly, and it allows Finney the opportunity to come steaming in with the challenge.
Yeah, as if the conditions are not difficult enough. When the ball does come to you, you need to kill it instantly. Again, that's where that concentration comes in.
Devaney to Scanlon. Clever from James Scanlon. Wanted the 1-2, didn't he?
Yeah, perhaps should have had it as well.
Musa does play the 1-2 to Jack Fletcher. Wins that one as well. He's done well there. Victor Musa. And that final ball just evading everyone. Working really hard, Manchester United, being made to work very hard too by Everton, who are keeping them honest, Ben.
Yeah, they are. I don't think there's too much in the teams at all.
Devaney ducks underneath it, allows Fredrickson to pick it up. McAllister. And it's that ball from right to left again that Ben has pointed out a couple of times. The wind coming across the pitch and easy to overcook those.
Yeah, and I've got a funny feeling that that might be what Travis Binion is barking onto the field as well, that they just need to take a little bit more care. Remember, you're on the opposite flank.
He's been limping, Alan Thomas, for 2 or 3 minutes now. Saw him coming back from set piece and high-fiving, but he was doing so with a little bit of a limp. Hopefully nothing too bad. They are just checking over that knee. Meanwhile, half-time between Manchester United's women and Chelsea. 1-1 in that game. And Sandberg's equaliser after Vika Captain opened the scoring. They've made it to the break. And they're in with a chance of maybe taking something out of that game, so keep a little eye on that as we approach the hour mark here.
Yeah, and I'm sure that going into the game with the way that they've started the season, they would have, you know, fancied the chances to give Chelsea a really good game, and they're doing that by the sounds of it.
We're going to get a change, or is Thomas going to be able to continue? I think he's coming back onto the field for the time being. Long throw. Stolen away well by Fitzgerald. Scanlon. Good feet from James. Scanlon gets his shot away, it's just wide. Well, it's a good effort from the edge of the penalty area. Keeper was in trouble.
Yeah, it's a great effort. Just manoeuvres the ball back onto his more favoured right foot. And that was something that was missing from the first half, really. And although the goalkeeper didn't need to make the save because it was slightly off target, it's still a really good strike from James Scanlon and had him scrambling.
Yeah, Pickford was scrambling, wasn't he?
Oh, it's just the wind. Yeah, the wind that takes it away.
And we've been talking about it all game long. I know it's been a bit more like the Weather Channel at points than MUTV, but you can see immediately that one was tucking itself inside the bottom left-hand corner. Keeper was not getting anywhere near it.
Gets hold of it, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, blows it off target.
It's a super strike from James Scanlon.
Does that go down as a shot on target or a shot? No, I suppose it goes down as a shot off target, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Despite being on target until the wind got in the way. McAllister again looks to nod the ball into midfield, and then the wind just changes its course ever so slightly and it jags off the outside of your head. Graham fighting with Devaney, losing that battle.
Yeah, it's probably not his type of game, is it? Braden Graham likes to be able to pick the ball up and make things happen with it at his feet, and it's just so difficult.
It's a good challenge that goes in from McAllister as Catesby was trying to escape. Now needs an option, McAllister. Finds it in Scanlon. Those of you that might be watching Academy Football on MUTV for the first time, James Scanlon is the only full international in Manchester United's under-21s. Has a handful of caps now for Gibraltar. Jacob Devaney. Fitzgerald. Change coming for Manchester United. Keeping hold of the ball really well, but struggling to find any real avenues through. Everton really well drilled. A lot of football coming up for United's under-21s. We were hearing from Travis Binion before the Athletic Club game in the Premier League International Cup, and just an astonishing amount of football. Challenge comes in, cleared away, only as far as Gomez. Infield to Beaumont Clark. Back out to Finney. It's a good tackle from Jack Fletcher. Successful one, and now Musa looking to stretch those legs. Finds Scanlon, takes a positive first touch. James Scanlon gets another shot away left-footed. This time clatters into the defender and he's cleared away. That break was on, Ben.
Yeah, and it was good defending, I have to say. Jacob Davidi had busted a gut to run round the outside. And you could argue, could he have reversed the pass, James Scanlon? But he used him as a decoy and cut inside on his left foot. It was good defending from Everton.
Have a little bit of a break in PL2 after this round of fixtures. Back again, the under-21s on the 21st of October, take on Barnsley in the Virtu Trophy. And then a run of games, 25th against Spurs, 31st against Blackburn, 4th against Notts County in the Trophy. 2nd of December is Premier League International Cup against Anderlecht is the next game, and Reece Munro joins the fray.
Substitution for Manchester United coming off number 3, Tyler Fredrickson.
Tyler Fredrickson is the man sacrificed. Hasn't had an awful lot of game time, Tyler Fredrickson. I wonder whether this was part and parcel of keeping him fit and ready to go.
Yeah, he's played nearly 2/3 of the game, hasn't he? It's so difficult. You want to be involved at first team level, like Tyler Fredrickson often is. But every now and again, you know, you have that urge. He probably has that urge every week that he wants to play. And then there's times when coaching staff say that he perhaps needs to play.
Knock some of the rust off in case he is required. Unlikely that we will see him involved with the first team tomorrow. This has fallen, I thought it was going to fall perfectly for Biancheri, but it's well mopped up by William Tamman. Francis Gomez looking for Amari Benjamin.
That will be a booking, I think.
The referee is brandishing the yellow card for Daniel Armour.
Yeah, Benjamin's pace just allowed him to nip in front of Dan Armour, and that little arm, as soon as that happens and there's any grabbing of the arm or pulling of the shirt, just there, the right arm reaching round to grab his right arm, and it's not enough to knock you over, but players do it instinctively because they know that there's going to be a yellow card ensuing.
Beaumont Clark, handy from these set-piece deliveries. This one will be wind-assisted too, so Will Murdoch's going to have to be on his mettle. Whipped in low, and the wall doing its job.
I think that was ambitious.
More changes coming for Travis Binion. That is Chido Obi and Sam Mather looking to come onto the field. Cleared on the far side by United, knocked out of play by Everton. Well, United have definitely had starters and finishers this season. Players that are designed to begin the game and those that can come on and change it when they need to. So Mather, who is a winger by trade, comes on for Biancheri. Chido Obi is coming on for Victor Musa. So it will be, as I thought, Sam Mather will go out to the left-hand side. Chido Obi will go through the middle for Manchester United. And Chido Obi on the score sheet 3 times in PL2 this season. Certainly knows where the back of the net is, and if you give him a sniff of an opportunity in and around the penalty area, very often takes it.
Substitutions for Manchester United coming off. Number
He needs to get some service. Oh, it's a great ball.
It is, and it's picked up brilliantly by Fletcher. Tries to get a low one into Obi. Ball swirling in the air, affected by the wind. Benjamin against Armour. Tries to keep that in. He does brilliantly to keep it in and try and get United on the front foot. Challenge comes in from Mather on the far side. Everton throw.
There's still not too much in it, is there?
The very definition of nip and tuck, isn't it? Wind again. Armour having to deal with that. The clearance is not convincing.
Good tackle.
It's in a very good tackle. That one's less good, but it's evaded by Jacob Devaney. Lifted into the path of McAllister. Crossfield to Fitzgerald. Mather. Shot comes in, takes a big deflection. Loops safely in the end into the arms of Pickford.
Yeah. How many times have you seen goalkeepers completely flat-footed when deflections like that happen? But that one worked in his favour, Pickford.
Odd quirk of circumstance, isn't it, that your first team goalkeeper is called Jordan Pickford and your under-21s goalkeeper is called George Pickford, and they're of no relation to one another. Monroe wants McAllister to push out a little wider. You can see him. What he wants is McAllister to be wider and higher. That's what he's shouting across to him, to give him the option to play the ball out and forward. All over the top is just too much on it for Chido Obi to reach.
And a decent starting position from Pickford as well to come out and collect. Idea was right though for Devaney. It's not going straight down the goalkeeper's throat. There's an angle on it.
Here comes the Manchester United press. Everton managed to escape. Put themselves back in a bit of a problem, but that's a good ball from Francis Gomez. Clipped out wide to the right. Marshalled by McAllister. Elsewhere in PL2, West Brom and Leeds played out a 2-2 draw earlier on. Fulham have just equalised against Liverpool. Forest 0, Ipswich 0. Southampton 3, Derby 0. Stoke 3, Blackburn 1. Wolves 1, Leicester 3. In the other Premier League 2 games this evening. Chido Obi working very hard against William Taman. Taman equal to that hard work from Chido Obi.
Yeah, there's not many that can match Chido Obi's stature, but William Taman can.
Mari Benjamin, absolutely rapid across the grass. McAllister and Reece Monroe conspiring to steal the ball away.
Yeah, good tackle.
McAllister again just nips in front of Catesby. Everton change. Who's it going to be for is the question. It is Beaumont Clark who makes way. And I think that's
Substitution for Everton coming off number 7, Jacob Beaumont Clark. being replaced by number 70, Justin Clark.
Yeah, pretty much like for like.
And both with Clark in the surname. It's helpful. It's been a very attritional game. Both sides crashing against a brick wall. As we've gone through this second half, it's going to need something special, isn't it, to try and break this deadlock?
Or in these conditions, it could be something completely bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, both teams are really cancelling each other out. I don't think Will Murdoch's had anything to do in this half, but then I don't think Pickford has either.
Effort from James Scanlon, fizzing
Yeah.
past the post.
That's the only one of any note that I can remember anyway.
Armour to Reece Monroe. And that is known in the squad as JD, Jacob Devaney. Fletcher finds his twin, who is fouled. Taken quickly. Not a lot of spaces that once Manchester United move into the Everton half, they have to try and create some space. Fletcher to Mather. Mather, who loves to cut in on that right foot. Jack Fletcher. Chido Obi.
Oh,
Tripped, says the referee.
yeah.
A free kick right on the edge of the penalty area.
Just trying to reach around to make the tackle, and it was never really on. Chido Obi looking to move that ball along the 18-yard line to make space for a shot. I'm just trying to see, was it Tarman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's a bit clumsy from him, because he got himself into a position where it was going to be hard for Chido Obi to make that space. Shooting opportunity.
As he's dragged him to the floor and he thinks he's escaped, he then runs into Tyler Fletcher. He bounces off him. Tyler Fletcher remained unmoved. Sam Mather and Jack Fletcher standing over this one. Could be either of them. I'm going to guess Sam Mather. That's it. Deflects off the wall, and Tyler Fletcher chasing after it to try and make sure United retain possession, which they do. Taken quickly. Into Scanlon. Scanlon with an opportunity. Brilliant block from Tamman. Throws himself at it. Murdoch out to Dan Armour. Reece Monroe again, just looking to try and get United moving. Try and play this in behind for Chido Obi. I tell you, that it probably should be a foul. I think he's taken Chido Obi out before he's got to the ball. Anyway, Scanlon, Fletcher, moved on again to Mather. Mather looks to get the left-footed shot away, falls in the penalty area. Kindly, it's in the back of the net, and it's Jace Fitzgerald that has applied the finishing touch. Forced home by Manchester United to retake the lead with 12 minutes of the game left to go.
Well, that all seemed to be done in slow motion, and my first instinct was when that cross was blocked coming in, I thought, why couldn't that have fallen to Jack Fletcher again rather than his brother, because it was on his left foot on the edge of the box, prime for him to shoot there, and he just makes that extra pass, and as the ball comes in, I thought that was drifting out for a corner. And I mean, it was bizarre because it was actually played back off him, wasn't it?
I'm going to roll that cliche out. They all count.
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah.
It's played against it.
It's played against Jace Fitzgerald, but he won't care. It'll go down as his goal, and more importantly, it puts Manchester United in front.
Does it come off his knee?
It comes off his knee, yeah.
He won't care a jot.
No, not at all.
12 minutes to go. Manchester United lead Everton by 2-1, and the 100% record is intact for the time being.
You've got to get yourself in there. He's in the right position for something like that to fall in his favour.
Can force it sometimes.
Yeah. I said it might be something a bit bizarre.
You did. Do you ever get bored of being right?
Listen, you speak to my missus.
We are suffering at the hands of Storm Amy, which happens to be the name of my wife. Not quite sure which is capable of more destruction. James Scanlon is going to be replaced by the rapid Bendito Mantato. I mean, it's not what you want to see if you're Everton at this stage, is somebody with that pace onto the field after you've just gone 2-1 down.
For Manchester United, coming off number 7, James Scanlon, who will play as number 14.
Shot hit the side netting. It was always covered off by Will Murdoch. A high press from Everton. Dan Armour comes to Will Murdoch. Yeah, no option really but to drive a pass into midfield. Held up brilliantly by Chido Obi.
Yeah, it's a great touch.
Now United looking to get in behind again. It's just over here, isn't it? Looking to give it back to the Dane. Just enough pressure to force that error. Mather gets this back from Jack Fletcher. Reece Monroe. Callister. United want Everton to push up because it potentially creates more space in behind, but the ball then has to be a good one. Chido Obi is going to chase this all the way into the penalty area, just hurries up Pickford.
Oh, he's dived there.
Referee has spotted that as well and has allowed play to continue. Tyler Fletcher, Chido Obi. Just too many bodies in front of him, weren't there? Callister to Devaney. Back across to Tyler Fletcher from his brother. Again, looks for the little one into the channel for Chido Obi. Instead, brought the opposite direction by Catesby. And back by Reece Monroe. So strong in those situations. Manchester United centre-back. And capable of getting forward as well. Oh, he's done brilliantly, and he's being pulled back all the way.
How is he not seeing that, the assistant on this side?
And that is exactly the question that Reece Monroe has just asked the assistant on the far side. I do not know how that isn't given.
I mean, he was actually hanging on to his his right arm.
Don't know what the referee thinks he's seen in that situation. Does he think that maybe it's, you know, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other?
Well, he just needs some help from the assistant here that is literally like 5 yards away from him, 6 yards away, whatever. You can blatantly see what's going on there.
Side of the boot, Looking for the run here of Clark. Justin Clark's found himself some space. No messing around from Jacob Devaney.
No, just get rid. But it was a really good ball to find Clark on that far side. He's obviously got a fair bit of pace about him as well.
You can sort of tell, can't you, when you see players get into full flight, whether or not they have got pace to burn, and he was flying down that right-hand side.
When they don't look like the favourites to get there.
And it looks absolutely effortless as well. I mean, it was going to get given one way or the other. Francis Gomez a little upset. Still a little upset.
Yeah.
Goes in the book.
Had a good game, the Everton midfielder.
Another combative one. Fletcher. Potential substitution coming for Everton here. Are we going to get that before the throw-in is taken? Or are we going to wait? The referee says they're not ready, so the throw-in needs to be taken first. He's worked into a good position, takes a deflection, a handy one too. Great block from McAllister. And Shaw to Catesby. To get round the outside of McAllister, who is very much acting as brick wall at right back.
Superb tackle, brilliantly timed. Because what United don't want to do now is allow Everton to come onto them. They've looked more than comfortable. We've mentioned that pretty much neither keeper has had anything to do in this second half. And what you don't want to do, all the good work that you've done, is undo it by allowing Everton to equalise in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Elijah Campbell and Kobe Eberate. Both ready to come on for the final throws of this game. Mari Benjamin. Joshua Van Shaw, the two that are leaving the field. Benjamin got the equaliser. It's been a little bit tricky. A threat no longer for Manchester United. Different threats into the fray. Taman goes back to Pickford.
And number 9, Amari Benjamin, being replaced by number 14, Elijah Campbell, and 16, Kobe.
Headed on. Clark. Just to get in between the two defenders, but good covering. Just a breakdown in communication between Mather and Fitzgerald.
Lovely touch.
Sam Mather trapping the ball out of the sky.
Yeah, really good touch. That's what I'm talking about, concentration. It comes as second nature, but when you're dealing with conditions like this as well, you need to make sure that you're judging the flight, judging the pace.
Fletcher trying to get back at Justin Clark. Clark finds himself a yard of space, gets the cross in, which is turned clear by Armour. Referee is going to allow play to continue here.
Oh,
Chase Fitzgerald, I think, is fouled.
Was.
Isn't going to get that free kick.
He was definitely caught by the by the knee of George Finney there. Again, not spotted.
Well, Ipswich have just scored against Nottingham Forest in the under-21s PL2. It keeps pace at the top of the table with Manchester United, retains just that 2-point differential between them and the Tractor Boys at the top of PL2. It's a good cross. It's turned away well by Reece Monroe. Offside is given.
I mean, he's been a bit of a handful, to be fair, Clark, since he arrived on the scene, but he should just have allowed that to drift out for a corner.
He's had the same kind of impact I was anticipating Bendito Montato would on the Manchester United right-hand side. It's a good challenge, isn't it, from Reece Monroe?
Yeah, it is. That was the mistake he made, Clark, of going after the loose ball, just eager, I suppose, but not realising that he was in an offside position. Man, it would have come off. If it came off Reece Monroe, it wouldn't have been offside, would it? It must have cannoned off.
Yeah, must have done.
Yeah, so he had to go and get it, so ignore me.
Or
I'm wrong.
Or he was in the offside position to start with.
Maybe.
And then, who knows with the offside law these days,
No.
or the interpretation of it. "90 minutes is up. Haven't seen a board to tell us how many minutes are going to be added at the end of this one. Gomez.
I thought that was a foul.
Yeah, so did I.
I.
I thought the free kick was going to get given. It isn't, and Fitzgerald now in the penalty area. Still going here, Jace Fitzgerald. Eventually smothered and collected by George Pickford.
Well, that could have been Mantato's only contribution in this game, would have been a tap-in at the back post, because he was completely unmarked. And he just couldn't get into a position, Jace Fitzgerald, where he could play the ball across.
He's tracked really well, isn't he, by Everton? Just making life difficult. Throwing is United's. Aidan Graham trying to call reinforcements forward. It'll be a United throw and they will take their time. Chino having his boot removed, and he's asking the question, like, surely it must be a foul if somebody's trodden on the back of my foot to take the boot off. Referee unmoved. Hit away by Mather. It's well done from Francis Gomez.
That's what United have done really well, is the covering, and making sure they've got men around the ball to dispossess if somebody just runs into a spot of trouble.
McAllister. Devaney. Back to Reece Monroe.
Jacob Devaney's one of the best at it.
He's everywhere, isn't he? Covers so much ground, Jacob Devaney. And Tato attacks the penalty area, gets it across to Obi.
Hold of his shirt.
Well, that's obviously allowed, isn't it? We've seen that 4 or 5 times in this game where you can have a fistful of shirt and not be penalised. Maybe a final opportunity for Everton. Clark gets the cross away, and Jacob Devaney is wrestled to the ground by Kobe Ebere.
Yeah, he overstretched, didn't he? Clark, again, going down that right-hand side, using his pace, but when he gets to the key moment to execute the cross, oh, that was touched there. It's running away from him.
Well, might well be the last action of this game. Manchester United managing to find a way through.
Shot on target.
Ben and I both twitched as well, thinking that maybe you're going to get one of those bounces that catches the goalkeeper out, but Pickford was in the right place. They can happen, can't they? Certainly in swirling wind conditions like these. Obi using his body really well. Oh, but it's been given as a goal kick.
Well, we know that the assistant on this side is he's not making decisions that we all completely agree with. I think we all knew that was a corner.
I'd just say you negotiated that really well.
That's all right. Give it the time and I'll find the right words.
I know what you were thinking. Ball is out to the left-hand side where John Catesby tries to get on the end of it. Again, the wind. We've now played 5 minutes of time added on. There really can't be too much more. There have been hardly any stoppages in this second period, but for substitutions, and the only goal that we've had. Referee tells Finlay McAllister to hurry up. Ball is back with Everton and George Finney. Just to slide that through to Clark. Fletcher goes back to Murdoch. Calm as you like from Armour. Who gets a shout of man on, doesn't he? Devaney.
Great ball.
Yeah, brilliant. Uses the laces to just drive it across the field. Mantato, McAllister on the run.
That'll do.
Corner.
I mean, it stands to reason that there's always more time added on at the end, apart from exceptional circumstances, of a second half, because that is when a majority, if not all, the substitutions take place, which is what they had a little bit of time for. I don't understand where Mr. Thomas has got 6 minutes. And counting. No idea where he's got that from.
Taken short, McAllister to Mantato. Lovely spin from Mantato, but Everton defender well aware of that situation. Sweeps up, checks the watch, the referee, but still allows play to continue. McAllister with the throw towards Obi, brought down by Fletcher. Still play. Braden Graham on the charge. This is where Braden Graham is dangerous. Gets to the edge of the penalty area. Clark. It's a good intervention and a timely one too. That is the final whistle. Manchester United come away from Walton Hall Park with 3 points. Jace Fitzgerald on the score sheet in the second half to make the difference after the first period finished 1 each. And Manchester United keep their 100% record at the top of PL2 full time. And it's Everton 1, Manchester United 2.